Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kayfabe Central podcast and another episode of the Headlines in Pro Wrestling this week. This is episode 23 of the Headlines. I am your host, Josh. As always, joining me is Ruan Wrestling.
Hey guys.
If you are new here, this is where we go over all the latest news, TV recap, gossip in the world of professional wrestling. And if you're returning, welcome back to the channel. You know how this works. We're going to go over a few interesting things here, a few things that I dislike, some things that we're complaining about WWE again and how they treat people. We're even going to be talking about New Japan at one point. So a couple of interesting things to get into on this episode of the headlines. Before we get into that, though, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. Subscribe to the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. So if that is something that you're interested in, and if you are able to, of course, that would be greatly appreciated. You can also check out the Kayfabe Central website. That's where I post all my written predictions, articles, coverage posts, all that good stuff. If you want a place to chat it up about, I don't know what my voice just did just now. But if you want a place to chat it up about wrestling, there are multiple different ways you can do that within the Kayfabe Central realm of things. There is the Kayfabe Central Discord server. So if you want a place to chat about wrestling on Discord, go ahead and click the link in the description. There's also the Kayfabe Central website where we have a group/community section. So go ahead and check that out. You can leave me questions on there, whether it be my personal wrestling opinions, or anything else wrestling related. And of course, you can always leave your comments down below wherever you're listening, whether it be YouTube or Spotify. Um, Self promos out of the way. Um, yeah, let's jump straight into the headlines. Um, I want to start with I guess we're starting off a little bit of a bad note. But there's been a lot of interesting things to come out of the story surrounding Ridge Holland. And um obviously Ridge Holland was a part of that batch of releases. Uh it wasn't didn't happen like in all in one day. They released multiple people over the course of like 2 weeks, like a whole lot of people. But the most controversial one to come out of that, and we've spoken on the podcast about this one before, is Ridge Holland. Um, but recently, Rich Holland has started a GoFundMe because he needs help to cover mortgage payments. After WWE fired him early from his contract and it's not paying him. Um, Obviously, WWE is paying for his surgery and his medical bills and his rehabilitation. But we've spoke about that before. They have no choice but to do that. And I'm pretty sure if they didn't, there would be a lawsuit involved. Um, However, this just proves my point, what I talk about every single week with WWE. Corporations are evil, yada yada. Um, this is this is fucked up. Um, I don't understand why you have someone like Ridge Holland who got injured on TNA, so not even your show, but a show you're affiliated with. So technically still under your umbrella. Um, and wasn't paying him extra for those TNA appearances. And I mentioned it before, I'm pretty sure people like Trick Williams were getting paid extra. Um, Ridge Holland was obviously involved in one of the biggest injuries that we've had in wrestling recently, that being the Big E injury. And I know a lot of fans haven't forgiven him for that. Um, but I think that WWE saw that and said, you know what, we can treat this guy like shit. We can, just kind of forget about him a little bit once we release him. That is not the way you should go about things, in my personal opinion. If you run a business, especially something like professional wrestling, you take care of your people, you take care of your workers. Um, and like that goes with any, job ever in the world. You take care of your workers. And it's really shitty that he has started GoFundMe when this guy was, you know, at the peak of, that bloodline storyline with the bloodline and brawling brutes, and now he's in this position and he can't wrestle because he's injured. I think that somebody in the back, because obviously this podcast is not going to do shit for this situation, and more popular podcasts are not going to do anything for this situation. It's got to be somebody in the back that has the gall and has the stones to go up to whoever's in charge, whether it be Triple H, somebody in TKO, and say, maybe we should stop treating these people like shit. Maybe we should take more care of the people that work for us and put their bodies on the line week after week, not just for the weekly shows, but like, these live events. Maybe we should take more care of them. Um, Obviously, nobody has the gall or the stones to do that because nothing has happened. And I honestly just wish and hope that one day we get like some sort of a union between people um, in the WWE that's like, okay, you know what? We're not going to stand for this anymore. And, you know, stuff like this needs to come to an end. I wish a lot of people would just unionize and do something like that, but I highly doubt it. Um, I know people like Kyle Fletcher, Omos has donated to the GoFundMe. Um, I can't remember who else. There were a few other names.
Chelsea Green has,
Oh, right.
and there's someone else. Um, there's someone else, another big wrestler. I cannot tell you who though.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, those people helped out as well. So, shout out to them for doing that. And that is the human thing to do. Um, and clearly WWE does not want to do that, and I think it's terrible.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard because I totally agree with everything. I don't have much more to add on that. It is a shitty situation. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Ridge Holland was my absolute favorite wrestler and be like, oh, you should have been WWE champ. But you can see what I think WWE will want to do with him. And I can't remember who came out and said it. Someone was saying that, well, like, you look at the trajectory that, and I agree that I could have seen, if this injury especially hadn't happened, I could have well have seen Ridge Holland on the list of names on the next sort of set of big releases when it came to it. Um, it's really shitty, really, really shitty by WWE, and I think you're totally right. Like, I think they've just taken this whole Big E situation and ran with it, and it's so sad. I don't know if you've seen the interview he's done that's obviously on YouTube where he talks about this and talking about, he thinks about that every day and it's going to live with him for the rest of his life. And obviously, he's like, if he has a time machine, he would go back to that moment and he would never have done the suplex. But at the end of the day, it's wrestling and shit happens. And, Big E, he said it, and Bridge Holland said it. He forgave him straight away because that's just who Big E is. He's just the nicest man on the planet. Um, because he understood it's wrestling. It's not a wee dance that they're doing in there. Like it's a serious thing. It's a really really shitty situation, and as you said, like there's not much glory coming to us from WWE where they're paying his medical bills, but as you said, that is the bare minimum of what they probably legally have to do without a lawsuit. I think there's even potentially still stuff that could happen because this whole situation is so messy. Um, but yeah, but best wishes go out to Ridge, man. Like no one should be put in that situation. They should be looked after even after leaving a company. Yes, it's just a bit shit.
Yeah, it's really bad. And we talked about it before. He has kids. I can't remember how many kids he
It was
has.
like four, maybe he said 3 or 4. Can't remember.
He's got a few kids, and now he's struggling to pay his mortgage, which means he's probably struggling to even put dinner on the table. And that fucking hurts me for him. And I can't imagine what he's going through. Not being able to physically wrestle, probably not able to do a lot of things physically within his household, even.
Yeah,
And struggling financially. And That's on the fault of WWE. They don't take care of their own. And there was once upon a time where they did. There was once upon a time if this were like years and years ago, Rich Holland would have been taken care of.
Mhm.
Um, but that's not the case anymore. This company is money hungry, and there's no sugarcoating that. There's no way of going around it. They are money hungry and they are selfish. Um, if that prevents me from getting a job at WWE ever, whatever. It's the truth because they they only care about the spreadsheets that are looking at. They will release people and not give a shit about what they do. But they are going to give you a year-long contract clause, no compete clause, um, and prevent you from doing anything. I think it's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, they're like it, some folk are going to look this the complete opposite way, and then these people or people who've probably never worked before in their life, and they said there's no loyalty in it for WWE. And I think a perfect example, as you said, was the Ultra situation when they released them. Like the Outroar, they came from that. And there's some people that maybe going a bit far. They're like, oh, Truth should be the next world champion. No, but like the guy's given so much to the company. It'd be the same right now if they were just to go and release the Miz. Like this is a guy who deserves so much more. And as you said, if this had been maybe 20 years ago, they might be kept okay. But nowadays it's just, oh, you're done with, goodbye. Which for someone like that in an R-Truth spot, in the Miz's spot, and there's loads of other guys, um, that it's just I don't. It's just it's as you said, it's so corporate, and we know that. I don't find well what that means and what that comes with, but like it is rubbish. And as well, I think I was also laughing at a point you said because of the news that came. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. When you're talking about the wrestlers, I hope they could unionize. I went no chance anymore. They've just decided not to renew Jesse Ventura's contract, so no
Yeah,
unionization is happening here.
yeah. I wish it would. Like I
Oh, I
think
agree.
there needs to be somebody in the back that says, okay, I'm gonna get some people together that have the same mindset as me. And like I think what Sasha Banks and Naomi did when they walked out
Hmm.
is what was needed. I think that was I 100% agreed with what they did.
Yeah.
Because Sasha, as much as I don't like the CEO gimmick, I think she's a fantastic wrestler. And I like NXT Black and Gold. Sasha Banks was my favorite Sasha Banks. And then a little bit when she was holding the Raw Women's title as well. Um, I they have a history of treating people like shit. And we're putting a lot of the blame on TKO. And I was talking to one of my friends, and um, he was telling me, and he brought up a very good point. He's like, I think we need to stop pointing all the fingers at TKO and actually put Triple H under some of this blame because he's the guy that's still in that chair, and calling the show and has one of the final says in what happens within the company, right? So I think he's absolutely right. We do need to start putting blame on Triple H and the entire, TKO WWE company. Um, because these companies and corporations, they're evil. And I think there needs to be some unionization of people to stand up against it.
Yeah, definitely. I think another one as well, and this is more of a personal opinion on this one because I think he's a sniveling rat to be truly honest. Um, Another man I think should definitely be held accountable. Just happens to rhyme by what should we go with? What rhymes with his name? Let's go with Puss Bitchard. Let's go. That sounds that rhymes, doesn't it? I think he's another one because he's still. If you look at who they've got in there now, he is like the last of the old guard that sit around there from Vince, obviously. Big Laurinaitis isn't there anymore. Um, Obviously Vince isn't. You've still got Bruce in there. I don't know. See, especially with his reaction to the, I don't know if it's something we have ever talked about. 'Cause it came out also before we, well, started doing content before we met. Was the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary? Um,
Yeah.
his reaction to that documentary told me everything I ever thought about it needed to know about him, and I think
Yep.
parts of it still leak into today's product as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
He is definitely another guy that I think that needs to go.
yeah,
Um,
I think so, 100%.
yeah, I've never ever liked Bruce Pritchard. Like ever since like obviously as a child, you don't know all the background stuff.
Yeah.
But as I got older and I started learning, I'm like, man, this Bruce Pritchard guy is a piece of shit. Like
Exactly. Like even take it was kind of funny, but when you actually think about it, it's not at all. Look at the episode of Unreal where the Punk and Seth Rollins segment was going over its time limit. You seen the panic on Abyss's face, and all he was doing was just apologizing to Bruce, who couldn't. He was just like he just looked like such an asshole. But this is the thing: everybody was laughing at it, and it turned out okay in the end, obviously, and that's all good and that. But like there must be a reason why Abyss was that panicked. See, if he knew that Bruce was going to be all cool and calm, you wouldn't be. You'd also be like, "Oh, I apologize." But this man looked like he was on there fighting for his job. So obviously, stuff has happened, not being filmed for Unreal. Like to make someone react that way, I thought that as well when I watched that, and I was like, just I don't like the man.
yeah. Shout out to William Regal and that scene
Oh
too.
yeah,
Um, oh God, I fucking love William Regal, man. Like
oh he's love him.
one of the realest guys. I wish I had met him personally. And like hopefully I still get the chance to one day because he just seems like a guy I would listen to all day. Like I wouldn't say a word and just listen to him speak
Yeah,
for hours. Um, and I think he was a fantastic wrestler as well.
yeah,
And he was just he told him like who fucking cares? It's wrestling.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's how it should be.
Yeah. And it's your Netflix premiere. Like it's Punk and Rollins. No shit they're gonna go over. They're on Netflix. It's Punk and it's Rollins, right? Those two are your biggest two of your biggest stars. So what if they go, I don't even know what it was. Was it like 5, 10 minutes over?
I think it was 10 at the beginning, and they managed to keep shaving it down and shaving it down. But it was just the panic on Abyss's face, man. You're watching it. Then at the end, Bruce was trying to act all cool, like, oh, doesn't matter. But I'm like, there's got to be a reason for the monster Abyss. Well, this is who we're talking about. To be like looking like a scared little schoolboy in front of me. Like, this is obviously something's happened before, and this must, and that's the real Bruce Pritchard. Because obviously, when they're filming for the Unreal documentary, which is ironically because it totally wasn't real then, he was like, "Oh, it's cool, don't matter, happens." But there's just something that seemed off about it, didn't sit quite right. And as I've mentioned, the whole his reaction to the Vince McMahon documentary, I thought was an absolute fucking joke, to be truly honest.
Yeah, and then right after that scene, they do the cutaway interview with him, and it's like, people think that because we went to Netflix, we have, less strict time restraints, but that's not the case. And I'm like, you couldn't have said anything to Abyss's face. You had to just be like, it's fine, it's fine, it's
Yeah,
whatever. Like, oh God, man,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
rant
Um,
about rant about Bruce Pritchard over.
I'm gonna rant about this evil fucking company every single week. Uh, and I honestly don't think it's gonna get any better, to be honest with you.
Oh
Um,
no.
it's I love pro wrestling and I love the WWE. It's what I grew up on. Um, and I don't know if like you feel this way because I know you adore WWE more than anything. But I know a lot of other people feel this way. It's getting really difficult to watch these weekly shows. And week after week, you just like it feels like draining. It's almost like it's a chore to watch it at this
Mhm.
point. And it's like, man, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't mind it as much because most of the time I'm watching it the day after The only one I really stay up for is SmackDown. But yeah, it is. It is. I hope something will change. I am still holding on to the fact that, see, if we're still talking about this come like in a couple of months or come April, then I'm going to be very worried. At the minute, I'm still holding on to the fact that this is like the shit period of the year for WWE. Like the creators always shit around now. Like you take SummerSlam to Survivor Series, it's never been good.
Yeah.
But the odd little glimpse it's chucked in. Now, obviously, we've got a little match of the year that was chucked in this year between Cena and Styles. There's the odd little bit, obviously, but overall, it's never been great. So I'm holding on. Maybe it's just blind hope at the minute and trying to find some good in it. Um, and this is the thing, I still enjoy it. Like and that's the thing for me. Like but that's more just because I love wrestling. So I still enjoy what I watch. But as an overall entertainment value product, yes, it is getting a little bit harder. As I'm not going to stop watching it, especially because I can watch it the next day.
Yeah.
So can everyone, obviously, but it's just why I'm more used to that. But it is. I'm intrigued, as I said, to see where we are in a couple of months.
Yeah, 100%. I think the last time we had a good SummerSlam to Survivor Series period was 2015.
Yeah,
I think that was the last time that time period was actually really solid. Um,
I think you're
because I was gonna say 2016, but I remember there, Goldberg. Um,
right.
and yeah, so I say
James
20.
Ellsworth on SmackDown.
Oh God. Um, I actually really enjoyed SmackDown Live, by the way, during 2016.
Oh,
I think that
I
was
was a big fan.
really cool.
I did as well. I think it was for me especially because that was like my honeymoon period because I just obviously got big back into it.
Yeah.
I'd also clicked on and off for them, but it wasn't until 2016. And as I was able to start paying for the network myself, and I was like, "Ooh, I can watch that." And I was just like in love with it. Even like the awfulness of things that happened, I was still like, "This is so good." Like, um, I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. When you actually go back and watch it, you're like, that was a bit pish, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then Jinder Mahal won the title, and I'm like, oh, well, that was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I wasn't that naive. I didn't like that one either. I wasn't that naive.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? It was a good era while it lasted, but now it's done. Um, it's not something we've talked about on the podcast before, but I figured I'd throw it in. Um, so WWE, like on the, same concept of, WWE, they also announced, a release date window for WWE 2K26. And it's between that, I think they said January 1st and March something. Uh, they've recently been releasing their games in March. Um, Ru, I know you don't play the games really, um, but I do. I have bought, um, I think I've had every one since 2K19. Yeah, because I didn't get 2K18. Um, had every one since 2K19, and obviously the disaster that was 2K20. They stopped making the games in October because that's when they did it. I think that releasing these games in like that WrestleMania time period can actually be really good. Um, I, however, don't don't like, and it's very weird because I like it being released in WrestleMania season, but at the same time, I feel like you should just let a game cook and just let it, sit for a little while more before you release the next one. Um, I have not been enjoying anything else other than universe mode on these 2K games. The career mode is garbage. I didn't even finish it for this year or last year, I don't think. The showcases are just like this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't like the um stories just being past wrestling rivalries. I enjoyed it much more like when we had like WWE 12 and we had like the Road to WrestleMania thing. And it was, like a custom storyline, like what the fuck, why does Sheamus have every single title in the WWE? But like, it was interesting. And then Triple H comes out and beats him for one of the titles, and we never hear from Sheamus again for the rest of the storyline. But like it was different and it was cool. Um, I don't know. I do know that I heard it like a very interesting fact that Javon Evans, who is born in the same year as me, he when he was playing 2K and one of the showcase story modes, that's actually how he learned about Shawn Michaels' career.
Uh-huh.
So, it can be an educational thing for, the younger audience. Um, so I guess like for the younger audience, it makes sense. I know Javon Evans is my age, but I've always been a wrestling fanatic, so I knew everything from the get-go. Um, but yeah, I do you have any thoughts on
Oh,
this?
actually, funny enough, because I was just letting you speak that. I don't know, maybe potentially mixing me up with Stu, because I actually do play the 2K games.
Oh, do
um,
you?
yeah,
Okay,
I
sorry, my
found
bad.
I am even older than I've had every single one since 2K16.
Oh, beautiful. There we go. Maybe I am
So,
mixing up with Stu. My bad.
so yeah, no, but it's funny what you said. I totally agree. I buy them each year, and I play them non-stop for like the first week. And as you said, I'm with you. Like I really just play Universe. I always try and play GM for a bit, but I always end up somehow just losing money and every superstar's injured. And I can't get them back. And I'm like, this is
Oh man, I
annoying.
hate the system for GM mode.
Oh, it was like I remember because they've tried to make it like how it was back in the old SmackDown vs. Raw days, but I'm like, this seems way more like shit than what it used to be. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I agree. The career mode has been something like last year's career mode. Man, I think I played it. I played it. I tried my best to do it. It's the other thing is when you spend so long making your wrestler and then you get into this career, and I'm like, oh, I can't be asked to put it on and play. Yeah, but I miss them. Like my two of my favorite wrestling games of all time are SmackDown vs. Raw '06 because that was the first one I had on the PS2. And then you said I miss the mental, just batshit crazy career modes you had in that. Like I remember the one of them who ran over Teddy Long and all that from back then. And it just been absolute wild in some of the shit that happened. I remember getting attacked by like a thug John Cena because it was still run. Obviously, still saying 2K. No, sorry, WWE 06. It was also still like the storylines are from like 0405, so we still kind of had thugonomics John Cena.
Yeah.
Um, and then shit like that. And then the other one I loved was SmackDown versus Raw, also including ECW in 2000 and was it 2009? I want to say is that the one that had Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Jeff Hardy on the
Yep.
cover? I think. Yep. Oh nine was it because I loved having the career mode where you got to select between. I think it was Ray and Batista as a tag team, Cena, DX, Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, and I weirdly enough want to say like Tommy Dreamer or someone like there was someone from the ECW I swear you could choose.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like that where you had a specific story built around each of the superstars, and it was all very unique. And a bit batshit crazy as well. I miss that kind of style of game. As I don't, and I don't know if I'm going to get 2K, especially right now. And this isn't just like a wrestling or 2K problem. This is just a game industry problem, especially the minute, which is how fucking expensive. You're looking at £70 for a game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that is for the Canadian. That must be almost $100. Surely your
Oh
side.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, exactly, and it's a lot, a hell of a lot of money for something I'm going to play for maybe a couple of weeks. And I'm like, it's not worth it at that point. So I don't know if I'm going to get it, but hey, I'm one of these people who will just sit and reminisce about the old games though. Or SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, had that as well. Loved that as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I might make you feel a little bit old here.
Okay, go for
Um
it.
the the only SmackDown versus Raw game I ever got and played was '09.
Okay, yeah. So you know bang on what I was talking about with it.
Yeah, like obviously I know about Here Comes the Pain. I think I played Here Comes the
Yeah,
Pain once,
yeah,
because I had like a like gel broken thing or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I got to play that one, so that was pretty cool. But like obviously being as young as I am and playing that game compared to like 2K's, I was like, man, this like right now this seems really shitty, but like back then I can imagine it was just like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh man, it's crazy how times change. Um, I will say as somebody who plays the my matches on universe mode, I want more depth in terms of the chain wrestling stuff on
Okay.
2K25. There's not a lot of variety there. Um, like I think it also depends on which wrestlers you use. Because I just did my Backlash pay-per-view on Universe mode, and I was doing a chain wrestling sequence with Lyra and Rhea,
Mhm.
and it was just the most generic sequence ever. I was like, okay, we're just gonna cut this out now. So I want more depth on that. Um, I I do appreciate that the game's not as glitchy as like 2K20 and 2K22 was. Um, Man, 2K20, like
That game
God,
was.
what a 2 years that was because holy man, I
Ironically enough, that is the only one that I haven't got, but mainly because I was waiting to I got paid a bit more to get it, but then all the reviews came out, and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't pre-order this game.
um like I will say like I had fun because one of my best matches I've ever done on Universe mode came from that game. Um that was Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano in an Iron Man match. Um, so yeah, I have a lot of fun with these. I've been like contemplating on like doing something on YouTube or TikTok even with my universe modes. Um, so I don't know if anybody listening is interested in that, then let me know. I don't have the patience to actually record like every single episode and commentate over it. That's just not gonna happen as cool as it would be. Um it's just so much work. But like I don't know, just like do a little thing where I go over the matches that I'm doing and the feuds that's going on in my universe mode. Um yeah, so if anyone's interested in that, again let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was a little bit of a fun topic there. Um yeah, I must have mixed you up with Stu because I could have sworn you said you didn't play the games. I don't know. Maybe I just got it mixed up.
Essentially.
Um, let's talk about New Japan. So, we had a couple things coming out of New Japan, and obviously, this I know for sure. Rue and I, we both don't watch New Japan. Um, and there's been some interesting things that came out of there. So, a lot of us thought that Wrestle Kingdom would bring Konosuke Takeshita versus Okada for the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship. That is not the case. At the last event, Takeshita retained his title, and um, Yota Tsuji, did I pronounce that correctly?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yota Tsuji won or retained the global championship. So Takesha's next opponent is Yota Tsuji at Wrestle Kingdom, and it is a winner take all match. Now, I find that very interesting because, um, like I said, I don't watch New Japan, but they haven't given me a reason to want to watch it recently. And this is one of those things which is really weird because you had this title just got introduced what, like last year or maybe 2 years ago. This the global title that is, and now you're unifying it. And then you tried to do something with the US title. You changed it to the um, what did they call it? Like the UK title or something like that.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah.
Will Ospreay had it. You did something with that. You changed it back. what this tells me is that New Japan doesn't know what the fuck they want to do. And um I can see a world where Tsuji wins both titles because Takeshita is obviously balancing AEW and New Japan. I can't see him holding both New Japan titles and still balancing AEW. So I think Tsuji will walk out with that, but then again, take that with a grain of salt. Don't place any bets based off my prediction. Um, especially when it comes to New Japan. Um, but yeah, I find this really interesting and weird, and I even as someone that doesn't watch New Japan, I don't like this idea.
Yeah, it feels kind of like pigeonholed in. WWE does it, AEW does it as well. Yeah, this is. I'm sure we'll get onto another big bit of news after, so I'll try to skip it away. But yeah, I'm with you, and it actually like made me sad hearing you say that there because it's so true. Like I don't watch New Japan anymore, but I used to absolutely love New Japan. But I think it's because they've just not had a reason to care for a while. Plus, it's just so much other wrestling, and being an adult sucks and having to do adult things. And just not having the time because like I was watching. I will put quotation marks around when I say prime because I'm sure there'll be other people who argue the different prime periods. But I was watching New Japan between about 2017 to 2020. So that to me was prime New Japan. We're talking Osprey, Omega, and Okada at that point. Like
Oh yeah.
it was so good. I have not watched it since, but this is the first year I think for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm actually going to give it a watch. Definitely. Because it's something I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, just in this, at least for the IPG heavyweight. Yeah, it's a weird situation. Because part of me wants to be really biased and just say Takeshita is my absolute goat, and I want him to win and hold everything because the man deserves the world. But I do agree. I guess it depends how deep into this partnership New Japan and AEW are looking and where they see it going. And that's the whole thing. Obviously, we're never going to know. Maybe there's some mad plans that are out there for Takeshita, but yeah, it feels very pigeonholey putting this match on here and be it a winner takes all situation. So I'm in agreement there.
Yeah, I do not like the big companies doing this double title thing or somebody holding multiple titles. We see it with AEW, we see it with WWE, we see it with New Japan. I don't understand it. I personally feel that when somebody holds a championship, it should be prestigious, it should mean something, um, and not just a whole bunch of, titles for no reason. Mercedes Monet. Um, like it doesn't make sense to me. Um, yeah, I feel like if you have somebody holding two titles, like even with the Roman Reigns thing, I didn't understand because you had Paul Heyman carrying two titles, but then Roman carrying the undisputed WWE title. That didn't make any sense to me either. Um, yeah, it just does. I don't like it. I don't know. What do you think of the whole multiple title thing on people?
Yeah, I think particularly when it's a heavyweight championship, the top of the division, whether that be for the male or the female division, whatever the hell it is, I agree on that. But it is very, again, I will use the term pigeonholy. As you said, I agree. I think there's titles that can work with, not just being because I'm biased towards them because I love them, but I'll use someone an example like Ethan Page. I don't mind what he's got in them holding. He's got also the NXT North American Championship, but he's also got the AAA Mixed Tag Championship. And I think that's cool to play around with. I mean, I wouldn't want to go any further. I think it's cool to play off, especially when there's a storyline that suits it, which I think I would argue he is currently in, and it works very well. Um, but yeah, when you start putting the top titles in that situation, that's where a it gets to a bit of an issue. And obviously, you can have massive moments that come out of it. Obviously, like Bound for Glory, having Santana finally winning the TNA Championship. You can have moments from it, but overall, I'm not the biggest fan. But I said there's certain titles, and usually it's mid card slash tag titles or like the lower mid card titles where I think it can work if the storyline works really well with it. But yeah, when you're coming talking about the heavyweight titles, I think that's a bit more of an issue.
Yeah. And I heard someone bring up this point about Mercedes Moné specifically. and they were saying that it's if you like look at the titles, like she's only holding technically two AEW titles if you count the Ring of Honor one as well. Um, and she's just winning titles at other promotions and just giving the promotions a little bit of exposure. And like obviously she's going to defend those titles at those promotions as well. And they were saying that we see it all the time with wrestlers winning multiple titles in different promotions, and I can understand that. I just wish she had a better gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't like the CEO gimmick. I find it annoying. I don't like the song either. Um,
Oh,
I find the song annoying too. Um, and it sucks because she is a fantastic wrestler in the
mm.
ring. Um, and like we're gonna be talking about like championships and stuff more later as well. With AEW related, of course. Um, but yeah, I don't like the whole multiple champion thing. I do have something else to tie into the New Japan thing. That being Hiroshi Tanahashi is retiring at Wrestle Kingdom. He is wrestling his final match at Wrestle Kingdom. I can definitely see them putting Tanahashi as the main event of that show.
Oh yeah.
Um, who his opponent is going to be is up in the air. There are rumblings and rumors that it could be Shinsuke Nakamura. Um, but knowing WWE, they're going to want something in return. Um, I highly doubt it's going to be something like, okay, we can give you Shinsuke if you give us like Saito or something like that. Um, I I don't know what they could offer. Maybe Tanahashi has like a one-off or maybe two matches in WWE before Wrestle Kingdom, and that that's the deal. Um, I could see that happening. Hell, maybe he's thrown into the uh what's it, the last time is now tournament even. Um, I think that could be potentially interesting and shake things up a little bit. He's obviously not going to win. Um, but yeah, I don't know. WWE is going to want something in return though for um Shinsuke to go over to New Japan.
Yeah. So firstly, absolutely they would if that was WWE. Secondly, this is the bit that's kind of thrown me off. Did you not see the news from today?
I did not.
Oh, his opponent has been announced.
Oh, has it?
It has indeed. Here's a breaking news on the pod too, Josh.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
uh, I, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about a match that's got me intrigued for Wrestle Kingdom to come back and watch it. Um, Unfortunately, it's not WWE. Wild surprise there. So at Wrestle Kingdom, it will be Tanahashi taking on Kazuchika Okada.
Ooh.
So Okada came out to call out Tanahashi for his match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Huh. Yeah, I did not see that at all anywhere. I was kind of out of the loop yesterday because I missed SmackDown because I went out and I watched SmackDown after. So, um, yeah, maybe out of the loop yesterday. That's when I missed it. Um, or oh, you said it got announced today, right?
Yeah, November. Because I remember I woke up to it, so it must have been also with Japan. It must have probably been this morning at some point.
Oh,
Whatever it was, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I don't want. I've not seen it on TikTok. I actually seen it on Facebook. Weirdly enough, I think somebody I know had shared something on it, and I was like, oh, okay. Shit. I was just double checking. I was correct there. I went on New Japan's news with their own site and on news to double check that I am correct. Yes.
interesting. All right. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Okada being Tanahashi's last opponent.
Yeah, match. I'm interested. I mean, I'm not going to say, but we've also seen Tanahashi's the poor man. His legs are shot. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm not sitting here going to be expecting anything crazy, but it'll be good to see. I think two guys who have just been such like parallels of each other's career over there, and they have such respect for each other. As you say, I would have been so cool for it to be Shinsuke, but I think we knew it deep down. Like we talked about, I think a couple of weeks ago, like WWE were never gonna let it happen.
No.
They like their best pals with Noah now. They're like, we like Noah. We'll keep them instead over there. Which it's a shame that's the situation when it would have been nice. Um, especially when it is like New Japan. So just because it's not like they're owned by AEW. It's not like a AAA WWE situation. They're just affiliated with. So it would have been nice maybe just to like kind of suck up the pride a little bit. But hey ho, I didn't expect it. So hey, we've got Tanahashi and Okada now, which again I'm quite happy about. And that's what I was saying. It's actually got me again intrigued for Wrestle Kingdom itself, and I think I'll definitely actually give it a watch this year.
Yeah, I probably will turn it on. Like if I'm asleep though, I'm just not gonna bother.
Yeah.
If I'm awake though, I'll turn it on, maybe do coverage for it. Um, yeah, it definitely could be a good show. Hopefully it is a good show. Um, and yeah, that's definitely a reason to watch New Japan now. So
Yeah.
there you go. They've given me one reason to watch it. Uh,
Yeah, it's more than what I had earlier on in the year. It's fine.
exactly. Um, I mentioned the last time is now tournament. This is where we can kind of transition into some TV talk. So we've had 8 people announced for this 16-man tournament thus far. On Monday Night Raw, we had I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head now. We have Rusev taking on Damian Priest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And Sheamus taking on Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes. Yes.
That was
I
announced
knew
on,
all the men, but I couldn't remember the match. I'm pretty certain that's correct.
yeah. Um, so I don't want, and I'll get to the SmackDown announcements just now. Um, I don't want any 4 of those guys to be the final opponent. To be honest, like I like all 4 of them. I think Sheamus being in here makes sense. I think Rusev being in here makes sense. I would have taken out Damon Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura. I
How
don't think
much
it makes.
Shinsuke Nakamura dropped John Cena on his head? It's an important part of his career.
Oh my goodness! Imagine Shinsuke wins that, and like
I,
we
I,
finally get the receipt.
I remember watching that live and I actually feeling shit myself. Like I thought John Cena was dead.
Um, yeah, I don't want any 4 of those guys to advance to the finals. On the SmackDown side of things, we had shit. What were the 2 matches that got announced? I know we have
uh,
LA Knight versus a mystery opponent.
yeah, it's Miz and Jey Uso.
Oh, right. The Miz taking on Jey Uso. The Miz being in this tournament makes sense. I don't think that he should win it. Um, but then again, I don't think a lot of people would be mad if he did. But then again, we don't know the rest of the field yet either.
Yeah,
Um, I don't understand why Jey Uso is in here.
thank God
I
you said
like
it.
because he eliminated Cena from the Rumble. Is
Yeah,
that what we're doing? Um, yeah, I don't understand why he's in here either. Um, I don't think either 2 of those guys will advance. There is the possibility that Gunther is going to be in this tournament. That could be the mystery opponent for LA Knight. Um, NXT was a mess this week, and we're gonna get into it. But it seems like they're not going to announce it on NXT programming who the NXT superstars in this tournament are.
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm assuming that it's just going to be announced on Raw, and the other members are going to be announced on Raw and SmackDown next week. Because Ava did it was a very poorly written segment, um, where I'll just go over it quickly now. Where
Yeah.
Ava was in the locker in her office, and she was talking to Sol Ruka and Zarya, and Sol Ruka was saying, "Oh, I want my rematch against Blake Monroe." Ava was telling her that she's not cleared yet, but she's doing a lot better. We're going to get that match because Sol Ruka's not actually injured. Um, so there's that, and then Zarya was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for the Speed Championship." Then Fatal Influence walks in, and JC Jane is like, "Well, I want my rematch against Tatum Baxley for the NXT Women's Championship." And then Fallon Henley is like, "I'm gonna win the Speed Championship." Um, and then Ava's like, everybody just fuck off. I need to talk to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis about this tournament. And that was it. What what?
NXT, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that is NXT in a nutshell. And that is why whenever you guys listen to our NXT predictions for their PLEs, we are never serious more than half the time. We are always cracking jokes because it is such a mess on NXT right now. Um, but we'll get more into NXT in a little bit. What is your thoughts on the people announced thus far for the tournament?
Cool, yeah. So I'll go through it match by match, I suppose, and just look at them. I'll be quick. Firstly, I said this before in one of my videos. Like, I would like to at least see John Cena have like an interaction with the folk in the match. That whether he's just out there at ringside, obviously not going to be on the SmackDown one, which is a shame. But at least on the Raw side anyway, or as if it's a backstage segment or whatever. But on Raw, we've got again. So yeah, Rusev. I would love to see a wee stare down between him and Cena. He ain't winning it. And actually, no one that I think has been announced. It also depends on who the mystery guy is, but and who I think, and I'll give you my prediction who I think the mystery guy is, and that man I also don't think is going to win it. Um, but yes, I don't think anyone announced right now is going to be in going to win this tournament. But it'd be cool to see a wee stare down between Rusev and Cena. Yeah, Damien Priest. When is Damien Priest and John Cena done anything apart from being side by side, maybe in the Rumble? Like, I don't, I don't remember this. Shinsuke, as you said, there's still a bit more story, but there's not much at all. They said they had that match where John Cena nearly died, and they were like in the final four, were they, or something, during the 2018 Rumble.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to go off of Shinsuke. Um, so yeah, I'm a bit weirded out with that. Who else would we say? Sheamus. Now, Sheamus, I think there's an element of it would have been cool to if we had more time to see a wee match between Sheamus and John. But seeing as of where we are and literally we've got a month left, it's not going to happen. I would love to again, like the Rusev, to have a wee stare down between Sheamus and Cena, or something interaction, a handshake, whatever the hell it is. That'd be cool. But I don't think any of these guys are going to win it. On SmackDown, Miz, once again, Miz's promo showing why he is just one of the best to all time on the mic. That promo was just Miz all over, and I loved it. But I agree, I don't think he's going to win it. I would love to see the Miz, and that's the bit that sucks with Cena not being on SmackDown, because I'd love to have an interaction between Miz and Cena, but if Miz's going to be on SmackDown, we're not going to see that unless he makes a surprise appearance, which he might do. I don't know. Um, Completely forgot who Miz's face again. Jey Uso, yeah, why the hell is Jey Uso in this tournament? I don't. Like, it makes zero sense. Um, I mean, Jay could be in the final. God forbid if he is, just because it's WWE. I hope not, but like when you look, I don't put it past him. Imagine Jey Uso. No, I'm just thinking about it. Imagine Jey Uso wins this tournament. Oh,
Oh,
like you may as well just like release the guy up and go start a nuclear somewhere. Like
yeah.
if he wins that, um, yeah, it makes zero sense. Then the other side, LA Knight, um, maybe he's not in the doghouse. He was announced, and I say that until let's see LA Knight get kicked out in the first round of the John Cena's tournament, and we're like, oh, this man has now been buried officially.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But mystery opponent, right? So as you said, there could be a bunch of people from NXT. We have to wait to see if NXT can get their shit together, slash Ava can get their shit together.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's between two men, and it's two men that I think will absolutely be in this tournament. And I've done a video on this. The first one that's been thrown around is Joe Hendry. And what I will say, maybe we'll go a quick backstory. I've seen a lot of online hate towards us, and more particularly, and just it's just what I've seen coming from American fans and American audiences who don't know Joe Hendry. They're like, what has Joe Hendry got to do with John Cena? If then this doesn't make sense, obviously, if the casual ones, they're going to have no idea about this backstory. But like the reason we have, obviously, the same for a lot of wrestlers, but the reason we have Joe Hendry today is because of John Cena. Straight up. Joe has always looked up to Cena. there was a story Joe told of when he was younger. His friend went to a John Cena autograph signing, and he asked Cena if he would speak to him on the phone, and Cena took about 10 minutes out of the day, out of the autograph signing. He went, "Nope, I'm going to talk to Joe on the phone," and he sat and spoke to Joe and gave him the best advice in the world on how to make it in professional wrestling. Joe, was the first person Joe went up to at the Rumble to get advice on with Cena, and he happily gave it. And this is a match that Joe, even before the whole proper TNA partnership with WWE, Joe had been fighting for. He has been fighting for years and years and years. Do I think Joe Hendry's going to win this tournament? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that we may get a wee interaction at some point between Joe and Cena. It's something that Joe has already. I know he's said it before that he's already shoot his shot at alongside inside WWE. I think to reward him for how he's been and how loyal he's been to WWE and the positions he's been put in for WWE, also being the TNA World Champion in the Rumble and having a match at WrestleMania. He's had been highly, highly praised. I think this might be a way for WWE to reward him for that loyalty, especially not even being a contracted wrestler from them yet. So, Joe Hendry, I think, is one man that is getting thrown around as a surprise. I think will definitely be in it. The other man who I think will definitely be in it, who I think this mystery man, there's quite a big chance it could be, is Matt Cardona. Obviously, we well know the history between Zack Ryder, obviously Matt Cardona, and John Cena. John Cena stealing his girlfriend, the evil days of John Cena. That some people aren't aware of. I would love to see a wee Cardona and Cena face off. And the reason I think that this might be Cardona next Friday is because it's a mystery opponent and they're in Albany, New York. Obviously, it's not Long Island, but it's close enough. Give me a break. um, I don't think if it is Cardona, again, I don't think he's winning it. I don't think any of the men I've just mentioned are winning this. But I think it would be a fun match. A fun opponent to see in the ring. Especially like I think LA Knight and Cardona against each other could be quite like an interesting on LA Knight and Hendry. Either of those match. I mean, we're not probably going to get much promo time, if any, but I think it would be cool to see. But yeah, they are my thoughts.
Those are two really good picks and very interesting ones that I actually wouldn't mind seeing. I think those are two very entertaining matches, either Knight and Cardona or Knight and Hendry. Um, that is not where my mind went, and maybe I just don't have enough faith in WWE to bring Matt Cardona. Even though
That's a
I think
valid
he
way of
should
looking
be,
at it.
even though I think he should be in this tournament, I think would be really
Yeah.
cool. I did hear the rumblings that Joe Hendry is going to be in here as well. Um, my mind went to, and maybe I'm moving too fast and they'll be announced later in the tournament. My mind went to either Randy Orton or Gunther accepting this.
Mhm.
Um, I we haven't seen Randy Orton in a long time. I can't
True, yeah.
fully remember what um he got written off, didn't he?
It was Drew, wasn't it? Did Drew put him through the table, or did he even manage? I can't even remember.
I can't, yeah, I can't even remember how he got written off actually, but I can see it being Randy Orton or Gunther. Um although Gunther could be on Raw and do
Yeah,
a match on Raw. So I can definitely see it being Randy. Joe Hendry is definitely a possibility though. I think that would be a really interesting one, but again, like we said, I don't think any of those eight guys that we just mentioned are winning it.
yeah. It'd be funny as well if it was Randy or Gunther, because also it's the match against LA Knight, and oh god, maybe I was right. They are burying LA Knight because he ain't winning those ones.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about some other things that happened on Monday Night Raw. So we had CM Punk celebrating his World Heavyweight Championship win. Obviously I did the Monday Night Raw post show, so I'll let you carry this one a little bit and give your thoughts. Um, but CM Punk was interrupted by Logan Paul, who wants a World Heavyweight Championship shot. The Vision then came out. They weren't having it. It looked like Logan Paul was going to turn babyface. And I was just telling myself, I was like, and I think I was on live. I'm like, there's absolutely no way. There's no way in hell that Logan Paul is turning babyface. You guys just wait for the end of the show. And lo and behold, he did not turn babyface. He turned babyface and heel in the same episode of Monday Night Raw. Um,
Double heel.
yeah. And it looks like he is aligning himself alongside the Vision. I am going to assume that this is just for War Games. And I there's a lot of people saying that, oh, Logan Paul is going to be the new leader of the Vision, or he's going to be joining the Vision. I don't see either of those things. I honestly think that this is just to set up War Games. Um, I can see Drew McIntyre potentially being added to that side for the heels. Brock Lesnar potentially even as well. Um, and then I'm not too sure about the babyface side of things as of yet. But yeah, what did you make of that whole thing?
Yeah, I'm glad you said it as well, 'cause I've not seen enough folks saying this because I thought the exact same thing about Logan Paul. They've done this the last few years now with War Games, is there's always the one person who just kind of just they form a really brief partnership. Obviously, we had Drew McIntyre doing it with the Judgment Day. We had Bronson Reed doing it with the Bloodline 2.0. Um, this happens every year. Yeah, Logan Paul, I don't think joining the division. And I agree when everyone was like, Logan Paul's turning babyface. So I was like, is he fuck? Like, no chances Logan Paul turning babyface. I think he got asked that question. I seen a clip on TikTok. I think what that account is it Impulsive, is that his name of his podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he got asked that question, like, "Oh, could you be babyface?" He was like, "Oh man, I don't know. I don't think I can." I mean, his own co-star was like, "No, you can't be. They hate you too much," and it's true. Like, you just couldn't. Yeah, this segment was very long at the beginning. I think actually, ironically, we were talking about the Abyss situation earlier. I cannot see, but I swear this segment, I've seen something that it ran like an extra, like it was like 15 minutes or something over, or 20
Yeah.
minutes over. It was
It
meant
was
to.
long.
It was a long ass segment. But yeah, like Logan Paul, I don't think we've seen him in a War Games match yet, have we? I don't think so.
No.
No. You know what? Sorry, he'll do something crazy that'll make us all go off. F sake, like he's actually like decent at that. He'll do a moonsault off the cage or something. Ridiculous. I mean, also we're saying this, we don't actually know if this is for War Games, but I would take the wild guess that it is.
Yeah. And like I've brought Logan Paul up many times on this podcast. I think that Logan Paul, the professional wrestler, is very entertaining and he does a good job and he understands it. He's taking to wrestling really quickly. I just cannot happen to separate Logan Paul the pro wrestler and Logan Paul the person.
Yeah.
Um, I it's just very difficult for me to do, and I wish that he just wasn't like him, and he was just a good person, so I can actually enjoy Logan Paul in the WWE. But I just can't, and it's like even with Brock Lesnar, he can be fun sometimes, but it's it's Brock Lesnar. Um,
Yeah.
we know everything surrounding him. So it's like it's really unfortunate that these people are just not good people and I can't enjoy it. Um, but yeah, I think that he'll do really good in war games. Um, you know, putting all, personal things aside. Um, as a wrestler, he can get it done in the ring and he's, he understands it. And I think he, like you said, he'll do something crazy in that match. Um, and he's gonna put his body on the line and do something insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah. What else did we have on Raw? Um, nothing else from that segment. Roxanne Perez and Raquel defeated Vaquer and Nikki Bella. I am pretty certain that Nikki Bella is going to be turning heel soon. Um,
Agreed.
she took the loss in that tag match, and then she keeps apologizing. I have no interest, nor do I care. Um, and if you've listened to this podcast long enough, you know how I feel about Nikki Bella. I don't think that she can wrestle. Um, sure, she had a big part to play in the Divas division, but the Divas era is something we all try to forget at the end of the day. Um, so I don't think that what am I trying to say? I don't really care for Nikki Bella turning heel or her being involved or her challenging for the Women's World Championship. There's so many other people that can challenge ahead of Nikki Bella. Um, Also, before I hand this over to you, I don't know if you can explain the logic of how this went down. So Raquel Rodriguez pins Stephanie Vacquer's friend. So that means Raquel Rodriguez gets a shot at the Women's World Championship against Stephanie Vacquer. I don't understand how that works. I know
Oh,
WWE has done that a lot in the past, but so because my friend got pinned, now I have to defend my title? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I'll let you take that one away.
I never even thought of it that way. I'm just gonna say lol WWE because I didn't even think of that. Like, yeah, you're entirely correct. Uh, there you go. That's my. I can't explain that one. Yeah, no, I'm in total agreement. I think Nikki's turning heel. Yeah, the Nikki Bella is one of these ones where, like, no matter if you what you think of her, if you don't like her or you like her, whatever, I think most people, bar maybe some young girls, would agree that even if you don't like her or you like her, she's still at least a bit better, I would say, as a heel. It feels a bit more natural. It doesn't feel as forced or as fake that I find. Um, Whether or not it may still be not the greatest thing, it's better than this weird ass pandering Nikki Bella that we have right now. It's very strange, especially her whole relationship with Stephanie. It's really started because she said her name wrong once, and now they're like best friends. So I don't know where this came from, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm certain they'll be getting she'll be turning heel. It's not what I want for Stephanie, but hey, if it at least gets her a match on a PLE or something, it's better than nothing. There's a hell of a lot better. It could be, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. But yeah, not exactly too interested in the match.
And like I already know how they're talking about this match backstage. They're like, "Oh my goodness, it's Nikki Bella, a previous generation taking on, the next generation
Yeah.
of women's wrestlers." And little do they pay attention to that nobody cares. Um, if this was AJ Lee and Stephanie Vacquer, I'd care a lot more. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Because I like AJ Lee. Um,
Yeah.
but that was that. Um, Jey Uso is sad that he lost the match at Saturday night's main event, so he decided that he's gonna help the person that beat him, CM Punk, um, only to super kick him 6 months down the line, and challenge him again. So that's that's going on.
Right.
The Usos are never gonna reunite. That's fine, whatever. Uh,
Ugh.
Penta defeated El Grande Americano, whatever. Um,
Mysterio.
Here's something interesting that happened. Dominic Mysterio was interrupted by a returning Rey Mysterio. Um, that is probably going to set up the a mega championship match. Um, I know AAA has an event on December 20th, if I'm not mistaken. So I can see it happening there. Um, we could also get a match between Dom and Ray on WWE television where it is Ray's retirement match. Maybe you do a hair versus mask type of match.
Ooh.
Um
Mustache versus mask, surely.
yeah, there you go. Um and hell, maybe Dom loses and then the next few weeks of Raw he has to wear a do-rag out to the ring or something.
Because like custody of Eddie Guerrero is my father's name. You have to
Or
recreate the ladder match.
or that's when he finally puts on a lucha mask or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they would do that too. If they did it with CM
Uh,
Punk in 2011, they would do it with Dom.
oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I found that really interesting. What did you make of that segment?
Yeah, so this is where I get to put on my smarky glasses and tell everyone and kind of like poke my nose up and be like, I predicted this first. Okay, I wasn't really first. Um, I was actually going to do a video on this. I need to go back and find the clip. So if you go back on my TikTok page, Rowan Wrestling, back when did Dom first win the Mega Campeonato? Was it September or was it before that?
The Mega Championship?
Yeah.
September or maybe August, I think.
Maybe August. Yeah, it could have been. I did a video the day after he won that, where I said straight away his next challenger, the one that to fight Dom for that belt should be the person who has never won it and is, one of the biggest names in lucha Mexican wrestling history. Rey Mysterio. What a better place to do it than in his hometown of San Diego. Oh, wait, there's just a little show going on in San Diego this year called Survivor Series.
Yep.
If that happens, I'm going to be so snidey to everyone on TikTok because I got called stupid in those comments saying that's never going to happen. What are you talking about? Well, it looks like it could happen.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I remember we were it was you, me, and Sue on the podcast one day, and I also brought up that idea that Ray could take that title off him, and you were like, "Oh, yeah," and like
yeah,
we agreed on that. Um, so
like
yeah, that
yeah,
like it just seemed so like it was too perfect to not happen.
yeah.
Like I don't understand why like people on your TikTok were calling you like dumb for that because
I don't know.
like it's the perfect end goal. Rey
Uh,
Mysterio either wins the Mega Championship or probably does win the Mega Championship, but then loses the championship and his career to his own son.
Yep, I think so as well. Especially, it's funny because I did think what you said as well, potentially do a career match online here, and I think it's better, like you said. I think it'd be good for Ray to win it first, then do it because I don't know if I could handle like Rey Mysterio and John Cena retiring within like 3 weeks of each other. I
Oh,
don't know if I could
I
deal with
know.
that. But yeah, I think what you said is like perfect down the line. Um, Ray wins it here. Again, it's something he gets to put in the record. It's something a massive championship that he's never held. Um, yeah, Ray getting to hold it and then yeah, losing it in a retirement match to Dom, is I think is perfect. And it's it's so sad because see, especially Dom, he's so no sad's maybe not the correct term because he's so good at keeping kayfabe outside the ring. He's so good, but like there is the small part of me, like in a WWE Unreal type situation. I know I'm just being one of these annoying marks right now. I'm like, I would want to like actually hear like out of toss kayfabe aside to hear Ray's actual like feelings towards Dom because he must be so fucking proud of him,
Oh yeah.
like how far he's came, and he's easily like he's world champion. We've said it many times. He will win a world championship in WWE, no doubt in my mind. And to see where he came from, like that, just tall, lanky looking boy in like 2020 was it when he had his first match or whatever it was, to now like oh he must be so like proud of him because he's so good.
Yeah. Like since WrestleMania 39, you can see like Dom has just gotten so much more confident.
Yep,
And yeah, he's gotten so good. I love Dominic Mysterio. He's one of my favorite things on Monday Night Raw, and
me
I
too.
don't have a lot of favorite things on Monday Night Raw at the moment. So yeah, I'm enjoying the work that he's doing right now.
Yeah, me too. He's one of my absolute favorites. So I look forward to it. And that's the thing that see, especially recently, because when you actually look at like, sorry, just going on a tangent. I just love Dom Hugh.
It's okay, we all do.
No, but like
Screw the
when you
deadbeat.
exactly screw it down. Oh yeah, the deadbeat dad, obviously. I see the bit as well. I just I was waiting for him to say it, he was like, "Keep my files name at your mouth." I was like, "Yes, Dom, yes."
I loved it.
He's so good. Oh, I just love him. But yeah, when you actually look at Dom as an IC champ, his reign has been shit. It's been really bad. And apart from like the last, like what he has done in the last sort of month alongside Rusev and Penta, as much as some folk like, oh, it's a bit, what the hell? What he's done is actually just the way he's progressed his character. Whilst the in ring stuff is whatever, the way he's developed or continued to develop the character has been so much more than the rest of his entire championship reign. Like, there's also been good points in there, but like what his last like month particularly has been the most entertaining part for me.
That's a really good point. I think that he's doing such a good job with his character that like we're not even too concerned about the title reign. It's just become a part of him and like
Yeah,
you're just so used to seeing him hold, those two titles coming out to the ring and we're just worried about, what Dom's gonna say. We're not worried about who's gonna, come out and challenge him for the IC
yeah.
title because he's just doing such a good job right now with his character work.
Yeah, and the whole thing again we talked about. You see folk complain, oh, but he's so bad in the ring. I'm like, I don't care about, as you said, I don't care that he's in there with like Penta and be like, one of the best in ring out there right now, and putting on this amazing match. I don't care about the outcome of the match. I don't care who has that belt. What I care about is I want to see how Dom's going to win this. How's Dom going to cheat his way to win again? And who did we all love that did that back in the day? Eddie effing Guerrero.
Yep.
It's perfect. It's exactly what we need. I love it. I want to know what he's going to do to be a little slimy shit and escape once again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. Love Dominic Mysterio. Um, Becky Lynch crashed out on Raw about Maxine Dupree. Fantastic promo though, by the
Yeah,
way.
definitely.
Um, she's she's doing so good in this gimmick. Like to the point I don't even want her to change gimmicks. I don't want her to go back to a babyface
I
anymore.
am totally with you.
She's just perfect for this role. Like when they did the heel run when she first came back, I didn't enjoy it as much. I felt it was kind of just naggy and annoying. But this Becky Lynch is completely different, and she has the legacy behind her, and so she has a reason to have an ego. Um, and she has a reason to be upset. She's getting pushed to the limit by Maxine Dupree, out of all people. So I absolutely love what she's doing right now.
Me too. I love this promo, and yeah, the two of us have spoken about it as well. Like I was the same. I never really liked heel Becky Lynch, but this Becky Lynch is the best Becky Lynch we've got. To the point where genuinely, I know I'm sure in the next month or two we need to start looking into it and talking about we want to do maybe some end of the year awards or whatever, and maybe not so much from in ring, even though it's still been very solid. But one of my female wrestlers of the year has to be Becky Lynch. That has to be in there. She has carried so hard in her character development. Her storyline development has been so good. And as I said, she's still fantastic in the ring. Some of the matches against she had against Lyra and even that one against Maxine,
Yeah.
maybe not quite on the par of the likes of Io and Rhea or Bianca, but still, like just as a character, I've not been more captivated in the women's division than I have been by Becky Lynch. So she's doing amazing. I don't want, as you said, I don't want her to go back to NFLs. And also her theme song's very much starting to grow on me. I hated it at the first. It's starting to grow on me quite a lot now.
Yeah. Um, I think that the Kabuki Warriors are being set up to take those tag titles off of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The Kabuki Warriors beat Bailey and Lyra on Raw. They attacked them after, but was saved by Alexa and Charlotte. Um, they also attacked Alexa and Charlotte backstage on SmackDown last night, where Asuka spit the mist in their face. So, um, I unfortunately think that we're getting closer to the end of Charlotte and Alexa's reign. And the Kabuki Warriors are being set up to take those titles off of them.
Yeah, I totally agree as well. From both sides, as you said, the Kabuki Warriors have been put in a position where it looks like, and I think it makes sense. At least they're a credible team to take it off of them. I will say, I don't know if you thought this, 'cause I know you're a bit of a movie nerd like myself. All I thought about when I seen Ascot in the doctor's outfit was Joker from Dark Knight when he's walking out the hospital. That's all I could think about.
Oh my, I didn't even think of that. Oh my goodness.
I just see that I was like, that's amazing. But yeah, no, I agree with the Charlotte and Alex thing. Like they have been amazing. Um, but the main event of SmackDown desperately needs Charlotte and Alexa. Desperately needs Charlotte and Alexa. And obviously we've seen, I'm sure we'll get into it, but also the teases last night of where a potential future feud for Charlotte lies. Um, so yeah, I think they've done amazing with the tag team belts. The two of them, they've been fantastic. But yeah, I do see their reign coming to an end fairly soon.
Yeah. Um, Nothing else really happened on Monday Night Raw worth talking about. Edge Styles and Dragon Lee retained the tag titles. Punk and Jay versus Division ended in a double countout. That's typical Monday Night Raw. Because imagine we had a Monday Night Raw main event that had no interferences.
No,
I
I
mean,
can't
that,
imagine it.
that would be. That'd be like that. That would be a full moon type of
Oh
night.
yeah, I should get a
Uh,
full wrestling match on this wrestling show. Hell yeah.
um, let's talk about the mess that NXT was. Um, I don't even know where to start because like nothing was good on this show, I feel. Like I'm looking at everything here. Fatal Influence, they defeated Izzy Dame, Tatum Paxley, and Lola Vice. JC Jane pinned Izzy Dame, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So there was that. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I don't.
I mean, I don't want to see Izzy getting pinned. I don't know. It's all over the place. I mean, I have heard rumblings that JC could be getting called up sooner or later, but I think it'd be a bit. It's a weird. She's in a weird situation where I think JC is fine to go up to the main roster right now, but I don't think Fatal Influence or the rest of them are. But it would be weird to not have its Fatal Influence, and maybe it is a case of like they'll be able to. I think Fallon's not too far off, but Lenny Reed's nowhere near ready for the main roster.
100%.
Um, exactly. So like maybe they would be all right, but like I would feel for JC. Like she is massively improved and grown on me a lot, but I don't know how she would fare as a single star and not in the Fatal Influence. It's such a big part of her and the character. Again, I could be proven absolutely wrong. Have been many times this year. I've been more than happy to like always bring up the Naomi situation. Um, so yeah, like I'd be happy to prove them wrong. So yeah, but it come back to this whole the thing anyway. Yeah, JC pinning is what it is, but I'd rather not see Izzy getting pinned. But oh well.
Um, Kalani Jordan cut a promo. Uh,
I'm sorry. This was trash.
it
I forgot about that. Why did you remind me
was
about it?
it was so bad. Look, so I have a little bit of a rant to go on here with
Please
Kalani
do.
Jordan. Um, I I need to keep reminding myself that NXT is practically a wrestling school, and I think I said this last week. I need to remind myself of that because it feels to me that every superstar in NXT, like in order to um I'm gonna use school terms, pass this term and move up to the main roster, you need to play a heel at least once, right? So Kalani Jordan is in her heel term at the moment. Um and it's not good because
No.
you have someone like Kalani Jordan who in reality is the most bubbly and nice
Hmm.
and kindest person and just looks like the sweetest individual ever. And you have her playing this piece of shit and cut in all you people promo, which we see every single time somebody turns heel. Um, it's not original, and you can't take somebody like even you take Roxanne Perez, who I think is doing slightly better in the heel role, but even
Yeah.
her, she is the most bubbly and kindest person, and you have these people playing a heel role that's not them. The best wrestling gimmicks come from when um the person is playing who they actually are to a degree, right? Obviously, in on TV, there's a little bit of tweaks to it, but that's when the gimmick is at its best. This is not who Kalani Jordan is. Um, and like, sure, she had a couple good points in the promo where she was like, you know, you guys boo me, but you'll cheer like Jada Parker and Lola Vice for shaking their ass rather than someone who has athletic ability. Um, Stu would hate that comment from Kalani Jordan, by the way. Um, um, but you know, like she had a couple good points, but overall, this was just not good at all. Um, but unfortunately, she's in the term where she has to play a heel. Um, I really, 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 really hope that we do not get to the point where Jordan Grace wins the TNA Knockouts Championship. Because
Uh,
if Jordan Grace wins the TNA Knockouts Championship, Ru, I'm throwing in the towel on Jordan Grace. I'm throwing in the towel on Jordan Grace
I think he'll be
because
thrown in the towel.
That would be my indication that they've completely just fumbled her.
Yeah, I think you might be throwing in the towel then because I think she's pretty. I think you might want it. All of this was all. I'm with you. Like, I agree with Kalani. It's just this thing. Like I said, we talk about all the time. Like some people are just natural, much better face than they are heel, and that's okay, especially when they're learning and developing. That's why like I could just never get behind. I think it was the two of us that talked about this. Like I just don't like heel Sami Zayn because that's just not Sami Zayn to me. Like he's just like there's such a nice guy and he's so just happy. Like I want it, and he's just as quote unquote underdog, but more on a personality basis than actually in the ring. Um, so I just don't like, and it's the same here. Like she's, as you said, she seems like such a nice person. It's like if Ethan Page was to turn babyface, you'd be like, what? Ethan Page is at his best when he's an arsehole. And even at interviews, he seems like such a lovely man, but even he's like, oh, man, I'm an arsehole. Like, it wouldn't make sense. I really didn't like this. Like, there's not lots in wrestling. Like I really don't like those things. I'm like a bit meh about. Um, I hated this. I was listening to it and I was just like getting more pissed off with every sentence. Um, and I think it doesn't get me wrong. I don't think the NXT crowd helped sometimes, and I maybe get a rant about that.
Oh,
But I
I
I
forgot about that. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're part of the NXT crowd. I'm just saying it. I actually hate you. You just ruined the show. And this is not just for this segment. There's other ones we might talk about. But I despise the NXT crowd. Like they go on a weekly basis. They're so annoying, and your chance are unoriginal and really boring, and just take away from everything that's going on. Anyway, next is but yeah, with Kalani, it's a no from me. It sounds like I said this before as well when she was babyface, but at least it wasn't too bad. This entire thing she said sounded like it was completely written by AI and it was being presented by a robot reading off a teleprompter. That's what it sounded like. It didn't feel natural at all. I didn't enjoy it. And yes, I agree with the Jordan Grace thing as well.
Yeah. She then had a backstage segment, um, where she got set up for a match against Tyra May Steele, which she won. Um, she then got announced that she is going to defend her title in a triple threat match, at Gold Rush against Jordan Grace and Lei Ying Lee. Um, so it's very possible that Jordan Grace wins the title there. Um, I don't care for it. I don't think that she should. What was the point in bringing Jordan Grace over to WWE? And if you had the intention, if TNA and WWE both knew that Jordan Grace, which I'm sure they did, that was going to WWE, um, why the hell did you take the TNA Knockouts title off of her in the first place? Why couldn't you just have her walk into WWE as TNA Knockouts champion? Why couldn't you make that a storyline? Why couldn't it be like, hell, even if you had her turn heel at the end of her TNA run, then her contract is up, and she immediately signs with WWE, shows up in NXT as the TNA Knockouts champion. There's something interesting. That could have been something, but no, no, we don't know what to do with Jordan Grace, so we're just gonna give her the TNA Knockouts title again.
Yeah. I can't give you any logic to it because there's none. It's a bit ridiculous, and also on that Kalani Tyra May Steel match, I'm not one for giving out pointers on wrestling as someone who's never done it myself, but Tyra May Steel, you don't need to smile every 2 seconds. It's fine, and that's where I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that
I
is.
I was up because I used to partake in amateur wrestling myself. I have a silver medal on my wall that I always have in the background of my post shows or TikToks or whatever. So I was up at like 7 in the morning when Tyra May Steele won that gold medal. Never did I think that she would end up in the WWE because I didn't see it. And I still don't see it because like there's nothing to her right now. She's just coming in as a gold medalist, and that's been done many times before. And when you have someone like Kurt Angle who took that gimmick to the moon and further, there's not really any topping that. You need something different. You can't just have these people coming, oh yeah, I used to play D1 football. Okay, cool. Take a superplex. Right?
Yeah,
Like it doesn't like it doesn't add up or anything. Um, I don't know. I obviously like LFG is still script. Every reality show is scripted. Um, so she obviously won for a reason. Um, I don't know. Maybe they see something in her that I don't yet. And she'll get better, hopefully. Um, we had Trick Williams and Ricky Saints do their thing. That was fine. Um, Dark State looks even more stupid after this week of NXT. So 20-year-old Javon Evans, or sorry, I think he's 21 now. 21-year-old Javon Evans defeats Saquon Sugars. And I found this so funny because it was so cartoonish the way this happened. He's running away from Dark State, Javon Evans, and each and every member of Dark State misses and collides into something, and then Javon beats Saquon Sugars and runs away. This is your NXT Tag Team Champions that just gets outran by one guy, one 21-year-old guy, when Dark State is supposed to be, this big badass group that just hurts everybody. You couldn't catch Javon Evans. They look more stupid every single week. I call them Dork State for a reason because they're a bunch of dorks, and I like them individually. I like Saquon Sugars. I think he has potential.
Hmm.
I think Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox have potential as well.
Agreed. And that's what it ends.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know too much about Color James. Color James just seems like, um, I don't know, some guy you'd see, offering you, a phone plan at the mall or something. Um,
Wait, this is the way I've described. So, have you seen Straight Outta Compton?
I have.
Okay. So, how to go about this sensitively? So,
I was
Dark
gonna say,
State.
I'm curious of where you're going with this now.
No, I'll try to do it sensitively. The way the feelings go, or at least the Steam comes goes, is Dark State are they're Dre, they're Cube, they're E right now. That's them. Cutler James is the weird manager guy who's trying to act like in the hood with them. And that's him. And it just is the most off-putting gimmick I've ever seen. I hate it.
That is the funniest comparison I have ever heard. Um, because I can't even disagree with it. I can't even. Um, yeah, that's
It's-
that's a great comparison. You caught me off
I
guard.
don't know if you've noticed as well. See, whenever they cut promos backstage, see as soon as like all of them will say stuff, whatever. As soon as Cutler James says something, I think he gets two words out, and it's always Saquon Sugars that like smacks him in the chest and pushes him back. Like it's if what next to they are off. Like I totally agree with what you said though. Saquon Sugars, I think, has got something there. We joked about it on your live during Halloween Havoc. How much better did the match get with the Hardys when it was just two of them? What was it? Cyrus Griffiths. Who's the other one? Sorry.
Dion
It's
Lennox.
not. Here's Lennox. Yeah. How much better was the match when it was just Griffiths and Lennox? Like they're actually an all right team. I think they're like half decent. I don't think they're amazing. And there's still a lot of improvement, but they're actually decent. And I said Saquon Sugars, he looks very good. I actually quite like that gimmick. It's just Cutler, James, and then the group as a whole. Just Bennett.
Yeah. That's Dark State. Tatum Paxley said to Izzy Dame that she's done handing out opportunities, but there's one more thing that she needs to do, so she's satisfied. Um, I don't know. They didn't do anything with this. They didn't announce anything. I think they just said that Tatum Paxley is live next week or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Um, obviously I heard somebody make the joke. They're like, they obviously can't make the ad that, oh, next week Tatum Paxley satisfies herself. Well, you can't market that. Um,
Oh, I
oh
know a
my
few
God.
weirdos out there that might want with.
You know what? It's NXT. I don't put anything past them anymore.
Oh, I mean, you seen some of that crowd? Like,
Um, Joe Hendry and Thea Hale are challenging Ethan Page and Chelsea Green for the AAA mixed tag team titles. They had a thing towards the end of the show, or at the end of the show, I should say, where Joe Hendry appeared. Thea Hale came out of the cake, and attacked them. Chelsea Green had this hilarious thing after where they posted on social media where she said I've never been on creamed on like this before, and
Yes.
Matt Cardona immediately jumped on it.
Cardona and Chelsea and Cardona are just gems of human beings. I love everything. And just your Ethan there as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I love everything about them.
I want, like, just for the entertainment aspect of it, a Matt Cardona to be added to this faction, and then Ethan Page is just kind of the third wheel. And it's just
Okay.
like, oh yeah, you go, guys.
It was fun. That would be very funny. I actually like a series on. I was going to bring this up, but I was actually going to ask you about that. What do we think of potentially this being a way of integrating Cardona from NTNA into NXT? Could he be Page's next like challenger, and then that kind of like splits Chelsea to be like, oh, who do I side with here? Because I could see I think a Cardona on Page feud would be pretty good.
I think so, but I'm very scared when WWE does things like this because I am scared that if we get this, we're going to get a Bobby Lashley and a Rusev with Lana
Oh,
kind of
oh
feud.
God.
Um, it's NXT. We saw this with something similar with Ashante the Adonis and Carmen Petrovic. I know a lot of people wanted to forget that. I didn't.
I did
Um,
until right there. Thank you very much.
So I hope that's not the case. I hope Chelsea Green and Cardona. I know Chelsea Green will say yes to anything. She's said that before. Um, I don't know if Cardona will. I just don't want to see it. I don't think it'll be interesting. I think Cardona and Page could be a good match though.
Yeah,
And then you have something where um Chelsea Green, kicks Ethan Page in the dick or something, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Cardona wins the title. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do that. But that is NXT. That is how unserious we are about NXT, guys. That is every single week because it's honestly just a joke. Um, I'm gonna quickly skim through Dynamite so we don't like take up too much time. Oh, I forgot to mention on NXT actually. I apologize. We're still talking about NXT. They announced the speed tournament for the women's. So Zarya advanced and she's going to be taking on either Fallon Henley or um Skylar Raye is her name. She was known as what? Danny Skaleski. I think that's how you pronounce it on LFG. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Skylar Raye is the name of a singer. I'm pretty sure I saw that Skylar Raye is the name of a singer.
Skylar Raye, let me check. Skylar
Um,
Raye.
because I don't understand because they initially trademarked the name Danny Ray, so why is it Skylar now? Um, I I don't know.
Oh, it could be.
Because I could have sworn Skylar Ray was a singer. Um, hold on. Like, I swear I saw somewhere that, um, and this just happens to be a trend with NXT apparently when they copied Sabrina Carpenter as well. With the whole Blake Monroe thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'll find it after. I'm not going digging on the internet right now. But yeah, there was that. I had that written down. So Dynamite. Um, once I can find it once again. Dynamite wasn't bad. I think Dynamite. I don't know if you got to check out Dynamite Rue.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did actually this time.
So they opened the show with Samoa Joe, and Tony Schiavone. Obviously I did my Dynamite post show as well, so Ru, I can let you carry some of this stuff here. Um, the Samoa Joe and Hangman Adam Page thing is pretty interesting. They took the WWE approach to start the show where the opening segment sets up the main event of the show. Um I thought that the Ops were gonna win anyway. Um, let's talk about that main event, might as well, since we're talking about these guys. And then we can go through the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Some important things. Um, Powerhouse Hobbs looked really fucking good in this match. Really good in this
Hmm.
match. And they made a point to um make Powerhouse Hobbs look really good in this match, more than Samoa Joe did, actually. Because Powerhouse Hobbs put Hangman through a table. They're having a Falls Count Anywhere match next week on Dynamite. Um, I think that it's very possible that when Hangman defeats Joe, because Joe is not winning that title, um, that we set up Hangman Adam Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the AEW World Title. Um, with it being Falls Count Anywhere next week, that obviously means interferences can happen. That'll shake things up in that match. Um, yeah, I think we could be looking at Powerhouse Hobbs being Hangman's next challenger.
Yeah, it seems that way. I would be something I'd be really interested in. I've always loved Hobbs and always was wanting to do him. Hopefully, one day get to move on to some bigger things. The guy's so good. Um, but yeah, I think that'd be a really fun match. Hobbs and Hangman. It makes me kind of sad because I don't, in my heart, I don't believe Hobbs would win that. But like, I would love for them just to pull a swerve and just go sod it, put it on Hobbs. He's very very good. Um, yeah, it was a fun match, fun segment. I'm looking forward to the last man standing match. But yeah, I'm an advocate for Big Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah, I would love to see him as AEW World Champion one day.
100%. Um, what else did we have here on Dynamite? We had obviously we had the reveal of a new title that I'm gonna be talking about in a second, because I have a lot of thoughts on that. Um, but we did have the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinal. I fucking hated typing that out so many times. Because that is just a lot to type out and it's a mouthful. But Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron defeated Mercedes Moné and Athena. Um, I
Damn.
didn't expect this.
Oh,
I
near the
didn't.
die.
I did not expect this at all. I thought Monet and Athena were going to advance. Um, Harley Cameron pinned Athena, so she is set up for um a match against Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship at the next Ring of Honor event, which I can't remember when it is actually.
Oh God knows, I can't remember either.
I think it's at some point this month.
Ugh.
But that's happening. Harley Cameron is obviously losing that match. Um,
Still shatter my dreams like that. Put the belt
yeah.
on, or you cowards.
Um, I obviously want the Sisters of Sin to win this tournament. For, bias reasons a little bit. I don't think that they're going to, though. I think that we are looking at um potentially Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron versus Bane and Shafir in the finals. And I know last week I said I don't think that they're going all the way, but after how Dynamite played out, um I think that that's going to be the finals.
Yeah, I agree. Because like my thing was at the beginning, I've completely switched now. Obviously before being out, but I thought it was going to be Athena and Monet versus Storm and Shirakawa. When it came to it, I just thought it'd be the simple route, but I'm glad they haven't done that. Like, I'm more than happy that they haven't done that at the minute. And I agree. I don't want to bust the bubble that is Josh's heart. I think I think Will Nightingale and Harley Cameron will go in the final. I would love for them to win it overall. But yeah, I totally agree. I think the final will be them versus Bane and Shafir. I mean, I'm also okay doing my predictions later on in the month. At the minute, I'd probably be willing to bet more towards the heels there, but I would need to keep watching how it goes. But like, yeah, I adore Holly Cameron. I didn't really know much about her. Um, I remember when she came out when she had the feud with Mercedes, and she came out with the music video and the puppet, and I was like, "Yep, this is gold. You're my new favorite." And I will stand by that. I want her to win everything. So I would be happy for her and Willow to win this whole tournament.
Yeah, who would have known the same girl that was paired with QT Marshall years ago
I know.
would be turn out to be this, and she is. Really entertaining.
Killing it, yeah.
And for anybody that's like maybe taking my words out of context, I love Willow Nightingale. Willow is actually my favorite women's
Oh
wrestler
yeah.
on the AEW roster. And Harley Cameron is entertaining, so I have no problem with them winning the title. Um, if it's not the Sisters of Sin, it's Willow and Harley. Um, I just picked the Sisters of Sin because I really like them. But I think that they will win those tag titles some point down the road.
Oh yeah.
Um, they're definitely going to win them. They're doing so good right now. Um, but yeah, like you said, if it's not Bane and Shafir, because I'm still hesitant on thinking that Bane and Shafir is going to the finals. It definitely
Mhm.
could just be Tony and Mina versus Harley and Willow.
Yeah, 'cause I guess the question comes into if they don't do that, where would Tony go? I don't think they would miss a match out without having Tony Storm in the card. Um, I don't know what she would do then at that point. But I don't. I enjoy that they have chopped a bit of a surprise in here. That hasn't just been like, typical as we always say. Oh, Monet winning again. Um, but yeah, I like that they've thrown in a bit of a curveball there, and I'm happy. Something different.
Do you think that if Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa lose in the finals, do you think that we could be looking at a Tony Storm heel turn?
That is where my mind slightly went because it would feel weird for her to not be on full gear as anyone who's listens to this will know Josh's feelings towards Toni Storm. um, but like even like yourself would say like she is like one of the biggest names that they have in the women's division at the minute. So
Oh yeah.
it'd be very strange for her to not have any involvement in full gear at all. Like obviously maybe they play off an injury angle, but that just seems a bit lazy. I would be interested in that. Well, heel turn.
Yeah, 100%. I honestly can see um her turning on Mina and since Tony Storm labels Mina Shirakawa as her wife, um they go through this like breakup kind of feud
I can
where
see
it's
it.
like a very toxic relationship. Like one week, they're okay and they're fucking making out in the middle of the ring, and then Tony Storm pile drives Mina on her head. Um and then it turns into like I don't know, like a falls count anywhere match or whatever. Um, I could see that playing out. Um, FTR made fun of Bandito's grandma and brother. Um, I don't see a lot of people talking about how Brody King almost punched a hole through Stokely Hathaway's head on this episode of Dynamite. If Stokely was just like a little bit more forward, he would have gotten knocked out. Stokely was in perfect position to just avoid that because Brody King just punched a hole through the door and allowed Brodito to make the save. Um, I do think that we're setting up for FTR winning those tag titles though.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Actually, when I was thinking of that, it's not the exact same situation, but the only photo I could think of and just switch the people around for Brody King and Stokely was the image around when it was Kurt Angle standing in the ring and Triple H punches him.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how I like pictured it when I was like thinking about it there. Is that means Stokely and Brody King? But yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll set up FDR to win those belts.
Yeah, 100%. Um, we had some advantage matches. Those were pretty solid. Did you have any thoughts on any of those matches?
Oh yeah, they were decent. Yeah, I said they were decent. There wasn't too much to it for me. I don't know. It was fine. We'll see what we get out to get next week, but I don't have too much else to really say.
Yeah. So we had the announcement of the AEW National Championship. And this is probably going to be the thumbnail of the video, and people are probably wondering why the hell it took us so long to get here. But I don't like this. I don't understand why we need another title. And here's another rant for you. So you get the international championship. No, scratch that. You have the All Atlantic championship, right? And then you're like, okay, no, we're gonna switch it to the international championship. Then we're gonna have the continental championship, whilst also still having the TNT championship, by the way. And then you're like, you know what? We're gonna unify these two titles. And we're gonna call it the Unified Championship, which I still fucking hate that name.
Worst
Such
name.
a stupid name for a title. Um, and then all of a sudden, we're introducing another mid card title. How does this make sense at all? Um, I don't think it does anything. I don't understand why we need so many titles. I was mentioning earlier how I feel when someone wins a championship, it should be prestigious. Um, I'm also someone that thinks the TNT Championship should be defended weekly on TV. By the way, I think Mark Briscoe is winning that TNT title at Full Gear. But we'll get into Full Gear predictions when we get there. Um, but man, this is such a stupid idea. And here's the craziest part about this, right? NWA still has their national championship.
Yep.
Um, I know people within the NWA. I have not spoken to any of them. I have not spoken to Aaron Stevens, aka Damian Sandow, about that situation because I haven't seen him since this has been announced. Um, but this is definitely something I'm bringing up to him next time I see him because I genuinely want to know how he feels about this because from what I have heard, there's a lot of people at NWA that are not happy about this. And what is the need for, bringing this in when you have NWA already having the national championship? Why do we need an AEW national championship? It honestly does not make sense to me. And they did the whole thing where it's like, oh, it's going to be defended across, multiple brands. No, this is something that you're going to have on TV week after week, and you're going to have an AEW superstar hold it and go to Japan, a couple times and say, oh, yeah, it's being defended in Japan. Um, no, it's stupid. I don't think it should be a thing.
Tony just likes collecting belts. It's the only argument or thing I can think of here. Um, this is so stupid. It makes no sense. Please explain to me who the fuck the mid card actually is on AEW. Who's the undercard and who's the mid card? Like I don't know. Like I feel like too like this. You take something like I'll just use the example. I'm not trying to compare the two before anyone decides to be all mental in the comments. You take like WWE. I think it's a perfect setup. You've got your main event title, your World WWE Championship. You have your mid card, the IC or the US title, and I'm cool with the lower mid card. Or the just to have something where it was when it was the hardcore title or something like the cruiserweight championship. I'm cool with that as well, and obviously your tag belts. I think that's, and then obviously you've got now the women's side as well. I think that's perfect. Why does like the division need what? So I completely forget. So we've got TNT unified, which was international and continental, and now national. Like, why? And now that, especially when you look at these pay per views, because like all the championships should be like defended on the pay per views. We're now getting the women's tag belts added, which I think makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
happy for the women's tag belts to be added, but now we're adding this as well. Like, man, these pay per views are going to end up being about 9 hours, not 9 hours long each
Oh
one.
man.
I mean, like fair enough. Like I was, I won't say name, but there's like certain person who I've seen talk about this. It's one of the few times I do actually agree. Like like, to an extent, they were saying about people complaining about AEW being too long. I wouldn't see because I can watch it the next day. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't despise things being too long. They just are, especially living over here in the UK and having to try to stay up for them. It can be brutal. Um, but like, you certainly get your money's worth in AEW. Like when you buy it and for how many matches you get. But like Jesus, like it's things that are just going to get lost in the shuffle, especially as you said, like the TNT Championship should be getting defended every week on Dynamite, but it can't because there's so many different segments and feuds and storylines going on that they need to try fit in to build towards their pay per view at the end of the month. So I think it's a very dumb decision. And then equally, as you said, I've heard a lot of anger from NWA towards this, and I think rightfully so.
100%. Um, it it doesn't make sense, and they haven't given themselves a lot of time to build this title either. Because the first inaugural national champion is going to be revealed when whoever wins the Casino Gauntlet match at Full Gear. I think it's ultimately going to end up being Bobby Lashley. They announced that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin will be entering that. They announced Ricochet is going to be entering that match as well. Um, I think Bobby Lashley is going to walk away with the title, but again, there's no need for it. And went back to what I was saying. Like, you're just going to end up putting this on an AEW guy anyway. So, what is the point? Casino Gauntlet matches are fun. I'll give them that, but I still don't like the idea of this national championship. I agree with you that the women's tag titles were a good idea, and I was all for that. I was on here praising them for, adding the women's tag team titles finally, and apparently they took that as, okay, let's add another title too. Um, no, that's it's not good. I don't have any faith in this at all.
No, me too.
Um, guess we can move on to some Friday Night SmackDown stuff to kind of wrap things up a little bit. So I didn't notice this until last night. But Zelina Vega no longer has her last name. She just goes by Zelina now.
Yeah, I seen this announced because I watch like other wrestling like news channels now on YouTube and stuff, and they talked about it. Cultaholic. They spoke about this earlier on in the week that they'd noticed that on the internal roster page, her name had been updated to just Zelina. So yes, I did know about it, but I didn't even pay attention last night on SmackDown to them saying that. But yeah, no, I do remember during the week that this was announced.
So the way I looked at it, and maybe I'm reaching, and you can let me know if I am. Um, I saw this as a dig at Cross and Scarlet because it's almost a very similar entrance that they do that Scarlet and Cross did. Remember, Scarlet was Scarlet Bordeaux,
Hmm.
and then they changed her just to Scarlet, and was carrying Cross and Scarlet. Now it's Zelina Vega, but now it's just Zelina and Aleister Black. Um, Maybe that could be a reach, but again, it's not something I would put past WWE to do. Um, it's the entrance, the everything about it just gave Karrion Cross and Scarlet.
Yeah, it does. Like, I'm not going to say you're wrong. It definitely does, and I feel that as well watching it. I never really considered to feel that with the name change, but as you said, WWE are probably pay enough to do that. So, as you said, I wouldn't put it past them. So we can't sit here and say maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But yes, the whole gimmick and everything is very samey. Um, my only thing with it is that I just like Aleister Black a bit more than Karrion Cross. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, oh, this is like I'm cool with it. But yeah, I can understand where maybe frustration from fans, and I don't know if Cross has said much himself, but like um when they look at it and be like, this is just what we wanted to do, but we're doing it with someone that they obviously see more potential in. Um, but I definitely I'm not going to sit here and disregard the comparisons because they are very, very similar.
Yeah. Um, in terms of anything else that happened on SmackDown last night, there was nothing for me um that really piqued my interest. I like obviously like I mentioned, I didn't watch it live. I didn't do coverage for it because I wasn't home at the time, and so I turned it on after around like 10:30 and I watched the rest of it. And like I found myself just not paying attention to a lot of it. Like I was on my phone for most of that episode. Um it just it didn't do much for me. It seemed very repetitive. I enjoyed um the announcement of Cody Rhodes and Aleister Black until, typical, WWE ending. Um, I hope that like the best case scenario for me with this undisputed WWE title is a fatal four-way between Cody, Priest, Drew, and
Yeah.
Aleister Black. I think that is the best case scenario you can do. Um, I definitely see them doing a tag team match ahead of that with
Oh yeah.
Cody and Priest taking on Black and Drew. And then maybe things implode. And then Nick Aldis just books a fatal four-way match for the title. And Super Cody retains again. Um, yeah, that's the best case scenario. Other than that, I don't really have any interest for it. And that sucks because, like I said, I really like Aleister Black and I like Zelina with him. And I hope they do a lot more with them.
Yeah, I agreed. I thought that about the Fatal Four Way as well. Oh, hopefully if that's the route they're going to go down, because there's kind of a I don't know if win-win's the correct way of putting this, but it's better than the lose-lose, I suppose, because if they want, it's a way for if they want to shock us and take the belt off of Cody, it's a way for them to have that happen and Cody not be pinned. So that's okay. That works on their side. And also, hopefully, touch wood, it's a way as well for Drew to lose again but not be pinned, so everyone can shut the hell up about it. Like it's so annoying. Yeah, I think Fail 4 is the best way. I also give a shout out on SmackDown actually because we give a lot of shit on this podcast, but when there's actually something good, I actually think I should bring up, especially myself. I'm not her biggest fan. I think last night was probably the best promo Jade Cargill has cut in the WWE. Still a little rough around the edges. There's still a long way to go. Would I rather have someone else as champion right now? Absolutely. I still don't think she's ready. However, with what we're being fed, I think she is doing a great job so far. And I said that was all her promo last night had to be. It was her, this is my yard now. It was her version of that. Um, and yeah, fair play. I give her a lot of shit on here. So I thought, I was like, you know what? I actually want something that I enjoy. I think is going in the right direction. I'll give her a shout out. And her backstage stuff, again, it still feels a little bit robotic, a little bit just reading straight off of the paper and off the script. But hopefully, like, the heel is a lot for her is a lot more natural to play, and it's already the last 2 or 3 weeks of seeing it now. I've been way more invested in Jade Cargill than I have pretty much in her entire babyface run.
I can agree with that. She's definitely playing a heel better than she did a babyface. Um, am I taking it too far if I say that I kind of want Charlotte to beat her for the title?
I wouldn't be against it. I've said it before. I do think the match they're going for Mania is going to be her and Bianca. So I don't think it would happen. However, I would also kind of want to see Charlotte. It's funny the complete 180 that they've done this time. Oh well, going into WrestleMania last year, I was like, oh God, no, don't put the title on Charlotte. But
Yeah.
now this newfound love everyone has for Charlotte, I'm like, no, I want to see babyface Charlotte as the champion.
It's not even just that. It's like, honestly, it's your best option on SmackDown now. It's like, if you're not going to put it on Alexa Bliss, because why would
Oh
they?
yeah, that was
They
going to be my option. Yeah.
put it on Charlotte. Um, because you know what? I have not been a fan of Jade Cargill. I don't think that she can wrestle that well. Like I do agree that her gimmick is getting a little better with her being heel. Um, but honestly, like as soon as I saw them face off, I'm like, man, I feel really bad in saying I kind of just want Charlotte to beat Jade
Yeah.
Cargill for that title. But man, like maybe in the next coming weeks, Jade Cargill will show something, but it's not getting off to a good start because she's facing BFAB next week on SmackDown. So
If this isn't a squash, then there's a problem. That like she has to squash her.
yeah, 100%. But again, it's like really out of
Yeah.
like man, come on. Um, Lash Legend debuted on SmackDown. She's officially part of the SmackDown roster. She's paired with Nia Jax. I think we all saw that coming. I mentioned it in my preview on TikTok. that it's very possible Lash Legend joins with Nia Jax. So maybe we get a triple threat tag match between Alexa and Charlotte, Lash and Nia, and the Kabuki Warriors. Um, that could be a route that they go, and that's the title will definitely change hands there, but it's honestly between Lash and Nia and the Kabuki Warriors. Um, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that, by the way, before I
Yeah,
move?
yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree. I was just kind of biding my time waiting for it because obviously we all unfortunately have to sit and read the Dutch sheets all the time, and there has been so much rumor of Lash Legends being part of this War Games match coming up. So it was kind of a weird one, but it was like, so when's she going to be on the main roster? It made sense now. Yeah, I think you could be correct. I didn't even thought about that having a triple threat because I'm pretty certain the Kabuki Warriors as well. Obviously, again, I have no idea. We'll need to wait and see over the coming weeks. But for me, I feel like they're going to be in War Games as well. So maybe we have a bit of early fantasy booking. Maybe we have it so the Kabuki Warriors are in there, Nia and Lash are in War Games as well. And I also do believe, right at the minute, even before this, that Alexa and Charlotte were going to be in War Games. So maybe this is a way for Lash and Nia, something happens, and then the baby faces pick up the win. And as you said, down the line, we could have that triple threat match where Kabuki Warriors hopefully win, maybe. So I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's good to see Lash up. I do think there's more she could have done in NXT, but obviously they just didn't feel the need for her to stay. I do feel that she could have done a little bit more. But fair play as well as hopefully she gets some good experience being on the main roster. I think she's incredibly talented. So yeah, no, I'm happy for her.
They also had her debut on the main roster in the most generic way possible.
Yeah.
With her coming through the barricade. Never seen that one before. Uh, Johnny Gargano reminded people that he in fact can wrestle against Ilya Dragunov. Poor Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, the guy got told no. I wonder where they're going with that. I wonder if they actually have a direction for that. With Ilya avoiding Tommaso Ciampa. Um,
Maybe.
it kind of seemed like that way, and like that's a very weird approach to take with your babyface champion. Like,
Yeah, especially
no,
in
I
an
don't want to
open
face you.
challenge.
But yeah,
Like,
like I don't want to face you. Like last week, it made sense. Nathan Frazier was the first one out there, so
hmm
Ilya was like, "Ah, Frazier was first," and Ciampa was like, "All right, fine." Ciampa was first last night on SmackDown. Came out with Johnny and Candice, and Ilya was like, "I accept the open challenge, but from him pointing at Gargano," and I'm like, "Really? You have your babyface champion avoiding somebody?"
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I know that um, Ilya and Tommaso Ciampa have a little bit of history back in NXT. Um, but I don't understand that too much. I hope they have an actual direction for that.
Yeah, I thought it was very weird as well. Because it just kind of isn't the concept of an open challenge because they came out to Ciampa's music, very underrated. I loved that one off. He was ready to wrestle. It was him that went, "I'm answering the open challenge." Then, as you said, Eeler just went, "No, I'm going to take Gargano." You know, Gargano. Like it'd be different if like they both came out and were wanting it, and then he said, "Oh well, I picked Gargano," but he didn't. Ciampa's the one that answered the challenge. Um, it made no sense at all. So yeah, this was very confusing to me.
I just had a thought, and I may have tried to make sense of this. Um, this could be where Ilya Dragunov keeps telling Ciampa no because he doesn't want the DIY SmackDown version of Tommaso Ciampa. He wants NXT Black and Gold Tommaso Ciampa. So he's going to keep getting under his skin week after week until Ciampa finally snaps and beats the shit out of Ilya Dragunov.
I, you know what? fancy booking here. This is why this pause is so long because we're just trying to share this. Um, you know what? If that was the way they were going to go about it, I would be cool. And then specifically, if then we had Ciampa, as you said, Blackheart Ciampa defeat Elio to be US champion, and then kick Johnny to the side, and then we get actual Johnny wrestling back. Please God, Crows, can you actually go do some research and learn who Johnny Wrestling is and actually cheer the guy? Um, we get Johnny wrestling back, and then we run back Black and Gold NXT Ciampa versus Gargano on the main roster, maybe for the US title.
I would love that. I
Yeah,
think that's perfect.
I think. Hey, get us here, WWE. I know we said some. I know we took the piss at you, but like, sign us up.
Yeah, hire us to be in that writing room.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's just a thought that came to mind because I'm like, there's no other reason Ilya would be avoiding him. But if there's somebody who knows how Ciampa was, in NXT, it's Ilya Dragunov, and
Yeah.
Ilya wants the best competition possible. And maybe he picked Gargano, so because he knows Gargano is always going to bring it, and he doesn't want this whiny, complainy version of Ciampa.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Other than that, nothing for me to really talk about on SmackDown last night. Was there anything else for you?
What about Julia in Chelsea?
Oh, right. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, so I don't have my coverage pros up, so I completely forgot about that. Right. Chelsea Green beat Julia in 1 minute and 35 seconds to win the Women's United States Championship. Um, WWE doesn't know how to book Julia. They are treating her like shit. I made a TikTok of this earlier, actually. Or I recorded it last night and then posted it earlier today. Um, if I'm Julia, and WWE continues to treat me like this, as soon as my contract is up, I am leaving the WWE because
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. Julia is one of the most talented women in the entire world in professional wrestling. And she was treated like a god at NXT. And then she goes up to SmackDown, and we're all excited just for her to lose in 1 minute and 35 seconds. 1 minute and 35 seconds. I don't think that we're actually processing that the Julia who dominated Japan, who came over and dominated NXT, lost in 1 minute and 35 seconds. I have nothing against Chelsea Green. I adore Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. And I think that Chelsea Green holding the women's US title is actually a good thing. And
Yep.
because that was the last time the title felt like it meant something. But damn, 1 minute and 35 seconds. Like I feel bad for Julia. I really do, and I have no idea the direction that they're gonna go with her anymore.
Yeah, so I'll do my bad points and then my good points for this. Bad points, obviously, what the fuck is Julia? That is all I can say. Because if this had happened again, I'm sorry, BFAB, you're always the scapegoat. If this had been like BFAB, we could go, all right, cool, or whatever. But it's the fact it's happened to Julia. Um, it's awful. The booking of her has been awful. It's weird as well because I was enjoying the Julia and Kiana James stuff. I thought it was good. I mean, that wasn't have too much legs, but I thought it was a good little pairing. Um, and yeah, this happened. The good stuff of what I will say is the good stuff comes from the bad stuff because the bad stuff was obviously she wasn't being used, and the women's US title is means the least out of every title I think on in WWE as a whole, probably. Um, so having her like wishful thinking. Maybe it's to try put her into some better stuff. Maybe I don't know. That's fine. I think Chelsea Green winning the belt here is actually the correct decision, and not because they were doing nothing with Julia. That is a big part of it, but because I think her current ongoing story with Ethan Page actually works really well with him being the NXT North American champion and her now being the United States champion. And I hope they both turn those belts into the Canadian championships. Oh, that would be funny. Because I think that works perfectly well. And plus, Chelsea Green's an absolute gem, and deserves so much more than what she was getting as well. Um, but so yeah, on that side, I'm happy. I'm happy we have Chelsea as the champion, and I can't wait to see what Holland Ethan do. But man, as you said, like a minute and what, 26 seconds for Julia is
35 seconds.
pathetic. 35. It's pathetic. Like,
Oh man. Yeah, it's really bad. And um I wouldn't be surprised if Julia is back down in NXT soon so that she can reinvent herself. Um Kiana James also looks stupid because, you had her, invest in Julia, and now her client just lost so quickly and lost the women's US title. So who knows where they go with that now? Um, because that could have worked.
yeah.
That really could have worked with Kiana and Julia. And it was just the writing was terrible for it. Um, I don't even remember how many times Julia defended that title.
Uh,
Yeah, like I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I think maybe once after she won it, or maybe twice. Um, like I don't think
Maybe.
it's any more than that.
I don't. I think surely it's got to have been this shit at least once. But yeah, it can't be any more than twice. I don't think surely.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I feel bad for Julia. Congratulations to Chelsea Green though. Um, yeah, now her and Ethan Page run North America. So,
Exactly.
um, yeah, that's good to see. But yeah, now I don't think I'm forgetting anything else on SmackDown
I
of relevance.
think
Um,
we've got. I think we've got it.
yeah, the MFTs and the Wyatt Six are still being teased. I don't know what the hell they're doing with that.
Ah,
Um, God, man, I that group just looks so stupid. Like, like
oh, actually, I guess it's kind of news on that. Did you hear that they might be adding? There's potential for new members being added to them.
to the MFTs.
Yeah, apparently they've trademarked something. Um, oh, they trademarked it's something I've seen today and watched a news video on it. I can't remember the name. It was like I can't remember. It was called the Son of something. And it's to do with the whole bloodline. I guess at the minute the only thing with to do with the bloodline is the MFTs. They're also, I mean, kind of Jimmy and Jane and Roman as well over there. But yeah, it looks like they might be getting more bloodline slash MFT members being added.
God, yeah, I didn't even see that. I gotta be more up to date with some of these things. Um, but yeah, I honestly at this point, the Solo and the MFTs are dark state of SmackDown. I'm gonna go to that extent.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Solo is just a gem sat there, like just what like Solo himself. I'm cool with, but yeah, this is again, you said it's dark state because like, individually, Tama Tonga especially, like, he's fantastic. JC Mateo, the name's stupid and he has no aura, but he's like Jeff Cobb, like the guy is amazing. Like I can't really speak too much for Tongalo and Talatonga, but whatever. um, but them two at least, yeah, exactly. Oh God, who's the Cutler James in this situation?
Probably Tongaloa.
Yeah. Oh, poor Tongalo.
Um, yeah, it's like I wonder, like, has none of the MFTs went up to Solo and been like, "Hey, we look kind of stupid with this face paint, and you're not wearing any face paint. What's going on here?" Like, eh, like as none of them just went up to them, went up to Solo and be like, we look kind of stupid, right?
Because Solo's
Uh,
telling me, Solo's like, no, guys, you look cool, I promise.
gosh, man, and Tala Tonga is 7 foot 19 and still feels like he needs to scream at the top of his lungs to be scary. Um, oh my goodness, it's so bad. It's oh man, I don't even have any more words to describe what we're seeing on SmackDown recently and Raw and NXT. Um, but yeah, that was Friday Night SmackDown, and that is the headlines in pro wrestling this week. Went much longer than I actually expected it to. Because we realistically didn't have a whole lot of things, but we like to ramble and rant a little bit, and we had a lot
It,
of ranty type of topics here today.
NXT takes up a lot of our time, as you can
Oh
tell.
gosh, tell me about it. But we also want to know what you guys have to say as well. We want to know your thoughts as well. Like I mentioned at the start, you can let me know in the comment section below on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this. You can let me know on the Kayfabe Central Discord server, Kayfabe Central website, all that good stuff. I will be back on Monday for the Monday Night Raw post show review. Yeah, that will be the next time. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok as well. It's at Kayfabe Central. Also in the description below, I post all my weekly show previews and some other stuff, some fun stuff sometimes. So make sure you guys go check that out. Ru, did you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, sure. If everyone wrestling on TikTok, I would say YouTube as well, but at the minute have given up going over there, but you can go over and sub if you want. But yeah, give me a follow on TikTok. Just do a lot of random talking about fantasy booking predictions, live reactions, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown previews, all that fun stuff. So yeah, we're on wrestling on TikTok.
And that is the headlines of pro wrestling this week, episode 23. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below or wherever you feel like leaving your thoughts. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.